Welcome to my local river. What a week it's been this week. Autumn is just, I can't explain it. It is absolutely mind-blowing this year. The colours are phenomenal and they're so exquisite, so vibrant, so beautiful. I've just been so mesmerised by the beauty that surrounded me this week. And I've been out a number of times and started videos but not quite finished them because I've just been so immersed in the beauty. But what I've realised is that I've created at least 3 separate bodies of work out of this week, and it would be nice to create a video to go alongside each of them to show the story and be able to share the images that I've created with you all. So this video today is the first of those videos. As I say, I'm down at my beautiful local river. There's been quite a lot of rain the last few days, so it's very, very full and fast flowing. But what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the spot that I created the images of water earlier in the week when it was a little bit calmer, when the sun was coming through the trees and there was some phenomenal abstract opportunities. When I arrived at the river, I was completely mesmerised by the water. The combination of how it was flowing, mixed with the autumn colours reflecting on the water's surface, made for some beautiful shapes and patterns. I could see image opportunities everywhere and spent some time playing around with my camera settings to find the right combination that would allow me to freeze the motion. Simply watching the water was so hypnotic. Every second it changed around me. I found myself getting completely lost in its beauty. It wasn't just the faster flowing water that held opportunity, but also the slowing moving water, where a trail of white foam made its way down the river. The foam was in a constant state of flow, as it was moved and shaped by the water. I began to see creatures, faces and symbols within it, and created many images as I allowed my imagination to flow in unison with the water. The images I created during this flow state, I feel, is a fantastic body of imagery that I would love to do something with in time. Before I share the creations with you though, let's head back to this very spot a few days later to see how it had changed with the heavy rain. Wow, what a difference a couple of days makes. This river that I'm at right now is the River Finhorn. It's the longest river in Scotland and it's also the fastest rising river. So when we get heavy rainfall, this river can rise at an alarming rate. It's really scary. And like I said earlier, we've had quite a lot of rain the last few days, so I was expecting the river to be much higher coming back here today. But it's really quite interesting to see how much it's changed. The beautiful tranquil scenes that I had in front of me a couple of days ago are just nowhere to be seen now, and they have been replaced by this very fast, intense rapids. Also, without the sun, we've not got the beautiful autumn colours reflecting down on the water surface like we had as well. So the images that I'm about to show you from the other day, it is impossible to create them today. I think that's a really good lesson there for many of us. When we see image opportunities, it's well worth photographing them when we see them, because you can come back to the same location again a couple of days later and it's just impossible to get those images. Every day we go out with our camera, it's a different experience, a different story. We're feeling different emotions, but also nature has changed as well. But these images I'm about to show you, creating them was one of the most beautiful experiences I've had as a photographer for quite some time. I was so immersed in the experience, I was so mesmerised by the moving water and the shapes that were being created, and the reflections as well were just, it was such, I can't even put it into words, it was such a beautiful moment. So I'm going to share those beautiful images with you now. I began by photographing the channel of water going through the rocks,
giving me the chance to get my eyes adjusted to the water and set the scene for what was to come. I then zoomed more into the water, and this was where the magic began to unfold. I was mesmerised by the abstract nature of these images. I could look at these for hours and keep seeing more and more within. This was also the moment when the faces began to appear. This abstract theme continued, leading to another face being found, and some beautiful colour combinations. I spent a little bit of time focusing on the blue sky reflections too. The light shade really popped against the orange. At this point, I was already overjoyed with the images I'd created, but then switched my attention to the white foam, and this is where the animals and symbols began to appear. To my surprise, almost every click of the shutter revealed another creature. It felt like the river was trying to tell me a story. To finish this collection, we have simply some lovely abstract shapes and beautiful patterns mixed with a stunning palette of colour. To me, these images looked like beautiful pieces of artwork, all painted naturally by nature. I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed viewing those images as much as I enjoyed creating them. That experience a few days ago was so beautiful. I was completely in that state of flow where I was just so immersed in what was going on in front of me and so devoted, I guess, to connecting with it and photographing it that I just completely zoned out of everything else and I just was transported into another world. I was seeing things like music notes and faces and other humanly features and other shapes and things, and that was just standing by a river, watching the water flow down and seeing how it was interacting with the light that day, as well as everything that the water was coming into contact with. So that the rocks and how the rocks and their formation and where they were in the river was affecting the channel and the flow of the water, where it was going, and also the speed and the shapes and textures that were being created as well. Looking at water is such a mesmerising experience, and it's such a beautiful thing to photograph, and especially when we're working with the surface of the water like that. The photographic opportunities are endless, and no two images that you ever make will be the same. I just find that so beautiful. And I hope those images will give you some inspiration maybe for your own photographic journey. If you've got a local river or stream, maybe there'll be opportunities there for you too in certain light conditions and certain weather conditions like I had the other day.
The body of images I created on this day really helped me to allow my imagination to run wild, and I really feel they could help other people tap into their imagination too. I really want to do something with these images. I'm just not sure what. I'd love your suggestions. I've never done an exhibition, I've never created a book, I've never done anything really with a collection of my images, but I feel there's some really strong messages in this and some really interesting themes that could be explored. So if you have any ideas of how I can do something with these photos, or maybe you can help me make it into something, please get in touch. I'd love for these images to be out there somewhere, inspiring other people to both connect with nature as well as their imaginations, and of course, their creativity.